What's going on, guys? It's Melty here, and welcome to the start of the third attempt at the F1 2021 My Team Career Mode for episode 1, which is the Bahrain Grand Prix today. If you missed the last episode, we were just going through the pre-season, going through the interviews with Will Buxton, answering the questions that would help develop the car smartly. So we had 3 aero upgrades there, 2 chassis upgrades, we have engine supply upgrades brought in from Honda, and durability upgrades also from Honda. So what we're going to do is we are going to invest some of our R&D points just before the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hopefully the car will be nice and drivable. But if you did just see the R&D tree there, I think we were 6th or 7th in the on paper right now, but we will have to see what we can do with this car, because what the data says on paper, as we know from real life, is definitely not always right. And just doing the activity timeline here, gone for the pre-season merchandise, because it gets us quite a substantial amount of money for the start, and money is it's never a bad thing when you're just making a Formula 1 team. And just some emails here that are kind of irrelevant if you know what you're already doing. But now we are going to invest a little bit of cash into some of our facilities. So with aerodynamics there, we have Spec 1 on everything: fabrication, build time, quality control, and resource point generation. But we are going to go and get a chassis upgrade now. Here, first thing, as what I want to be focused on this season is performance. Not focusing too much on durability. Hopefully that doesn't come back and bite us, but hopefully it pays off. Maybe there's a regulation change for durability. If we're not upgrading that can be something that we are really wanting. But now we are going to skip forward in time and go to the car reveal. So there we go, the first Logitech F1 team car, looking very nice in black and white. Obviously not had a proper black and white team on the grid. AlphaTauri last year with the AT01, they were sort of black, but I would say that was more of a dark navy blue, whereas we are proper black and white, two completely opposite ends of the spectrum. But that is all of the admin work done, and I'm gonna go to quali, and we'll see how this car drives for the first time in anger. So coming to the end of our outlap in the car, did feel quite nice around the outlap as we put our foot down in anger for the first time, coming all the way down the pit straight, DRS open, just ticking over 200 miles an hour there, 201, braking just before the 100, make the apex, little bit of a lockup on the front right if you did hear it there, very gentle, rolling it through turn 2, and open the DRS again down to the run into turn 4, using as much of the track as we can, but not going over the white lines, and getting very sideways there, just about saving the car. Looked like we were trying to go for a bit of drifting there. But around turn 6, the car did feel really planted around the lap, but it can feel nice and be slower. We'll have to see and wait until other cars set times, as on the map in the bottom left there, you can see there is a Mercedes behind us, and just look behind me there. He will, chances are he'll be gaining massively. I would expect him to be maybe 2-3 seconds a lap quicker than we are in this car, but we are pushing so hard trying to get the best lap in that we possibly can, maybe even get to Q2. On paper the car has the pace to do it, as the bottom 6 drivers get relegated in the my team universe because of the extra team. But now across the line we go P2 because we're the second car to set a time, and then Valtteri Bottas goes into P1. But that is not the only lap that we will be setting in Q1. We go out again with 4 minutes to go, so this will be our final run. We do meet the apex that time a lot, and we get very sideways there, nearly doing an Nikita Mazepin. If we didn't save that, we would have ended up in that barrier, but we were down by about a tenth here into Sector 2. But now how much time can we gain in Sector 2? We were going over quite a few curbs there. We've gained 3/10 just through them 3 corners alone, and now down into nearly into the double left-hander, but we have skipped ahead to the end of the lap. We're now 4/10 up through the final corner, just about keep it on the track, getting very squirrely on the exit, and we're losing time rapidly up to the line, and it is P13, so on track to get into Q2, but we'll go through the results screen and see if we've done it. And our name is not in the top 14 drivers there, so we're going to have to scroll down and see if we have, and we are P15, exactly the same time as Esteban Ocon. Jack Aitken P17 as well, very good outing for him in his Formula 1 qualifying debut. But now let's get to Q2. And here we are in Q2. We're almost unexpected to be here. We're already 3 minutes into the session. I think a few drivers have posted times already, but I think we're just going to set the 1 lap in Q2 because we're not going to get into Q3 realistically. Probably going to be P16 to 14 somewhere in that region. So we're just going to set the 1 lap. Avoid engine wear as well, that comes into it. We want as little engine failures as possible, especially seeing as though we're not focusing a huge amount on durability this season. So on the second to last straight here, coming round the final corner, definitely not my strongest corner on the circuit at all, but up to the line, DRS open, and it is into P6 ahead of Yuki Tsunoda. So either our lap was very good, or he had a bit of a poor lap there. But of course the Japanese driver will have improved. He is there in P13 now, so he is out only 1 car out of Q2 in the mediums, and that is the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. And there we are, P15, ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, but that is now Saturday night over, so let's get to the grid for the race.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula 1 World Championship. There's no shortage of passing opportunities around the 3.36 miles of the Bahrain International Circuit, with the best at turn 1 of course, and then another soon into turn 4. 15 corners here, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, and we could see 1 or 2 flat spots into the tight left-hander of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula 1 underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Bottas, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Ocon. The owner driver, Raikkonen, Jack Aitken, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher, Russell, Latifi, and Nikita Mazepin. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are on the grid in P16, ready to make our Formula 1 debut in under the lights of the Bahrain International Circuit. We're going to take some fuel out of the car, extend the first stint, which could be a bit risky. We could run the risk of puncture with the high tyre wear at Bahrain, but we're going to go to 5 red lights now. And the lights are out and we are racing in Bahrain. We're getting an absolutely fantastic start, overtaking three cars off of the grid there, now on the run into turn 1, chasing Alonso, who's following Vettel, who is actually on the soft compound of tyres, and it's very, very tight in turn 1, making contact with Vettel's rear left tyre twice there, hopefully not picking up any damage. We're going to cut back on Yuki Tsunoda, and we're going to get Vettel as well, just stick our nose up his inside there, just checking the front wing there, and there was no damage, but we are now side by side with Vettel, almost hitting the back of Alonso, as Vettel had to take some avoiding action there too, but he is just about got us. And you can see the top left, Mick Schumacher up into P15 in that Haas, running very high for a Haas car, but he is also on the soft tyre, so he will be doing a fairly alternate strategy, and I would imagine boxing very early, maybe lap 5 or 6 with the Haas. It's really not the best car for race pace, tyre wear, absolutely anything. But we're now on to lap number 4 here. The cars in front, the 2 Alpines going side by side now with the Vettel following. We've caught up a lot in turn 1, but it's yellow flags on the main straight. That's for Williams. That is George Russell, who has stopped on track, and the safety car is out on lap 4 of the race. We are now at the end of the safety car period, trying to get some temperature into the tyres, and on the topic of tyres, we can extend this stint. Well, it's not really extending now, but we can go to the planned lap 15. Hopefully tyre wear won't be as much of an issue as it would have been, but now we are raring to go on the restart, getting right up the back of the Alpine, flying very high in P4, couldn't get my words out there. And can we outpower Ocon going into turn 1? No, we can't, but can we outbrake him? He moves under the braking, just about avoid him, gonna stick it up the inside, still side by side through turn 2, giving a big squeeze into the apex, and we do just about get him. But now Alonso, next car up the road, gained a second within 3 corners there because of that mini little scrap between me and Ocon. But we are now in P4 in our first race, so it's looking very, very good. The safety car obviously helping us out. A few cars did pit under the safety car period, as if you remember, Hamilton was the only driver in Q2 to use and get out of Q2 in on the mediums. But now Ocon looked like he was having a look around our outside there, but he just about backed out before the apex. We are now on lap 10, going on to lap 11. The race being fairly stale, very conservative, not much action going on around us because our guys we're in a fairly high position for where we are. But Yuki Tsunoda coming up our inside, looks like he has a little bit of end plate damage there, but we are just about gonna get him a little bit sideways off of that curb there, like Nikita Mazepin did in real life. And Tsunoda is gonna come at a rate of knots with DRS, but there is not enough straight for him. We go a little bit deeper turn 4, the proximity arrow went red, but he's gonna follow us all the way down the S's here. His car obviously being a lot faster. He is in an AlphaTauri, not a Logitech F1 team car. As we go wide through the braking zone at the bottom of the hill, and Yuki is there. We are going to let him go, use a sneaky little tactic, get DRS off him, but he's going to lock up, he's going to go deep. Can he keep it on the track? Yes, he can, just about. As we get a little bit sideways, it's now going to be a drag race to the end of the straight. We have the DRS assisting us, Honda versus Honda still, though, and can we do him on the brakes? Yes, we can, just about get to the apex first. Keep it on the track, but no, he's going to switch back and he's going to try and go round the outside at turn 9. We're going to keep our nose in, very risky move, but Yuki, what a move he has pulled off there, round the outside of the long right-hander. I think that is turn 15, but we are going to have DRS down the main straight again. But we have a DRS of Red Bull of Max Verstappen now behind us as well. But we're going to use all of our DRS, lots of ERS as well, to try and get Yuki Tsunoda dive down that gap he's left on the outside, go round the outside of him. We're the attacking driver this time, squeeze him out on the exit, but Noise kept his nose in. We do have DRS though, he doesn't, he has to defend from Verstappen, and we're blocking him in, so that he has been got by Verstappen, but we've gone deep into turn 4, now they've both got us now 3 wide, gonna go into the S's down the hill. Can we just about get in front? No we can't. Oh my god, that is very close racing, but we have come second best off Verstappen in the fastest car, arguably on the grid, but me and Yuki still having a ding-dong battle here, going down into the double left-hander again. We do have DRS again, but Yuki's gone wide again. He did go off the track at that time. We're just about going to squeeze him off, not let him rejoin, and what a little battle we've just had there, and that should be the position safe for a few laps. We're going to skip ahead to the end of lap 14 now. We are going to come into the pits. It's been a fairly boring couple of laps since I pulled away from Yuki, as I think he did make a pit stop, as yes he has. You can just see him on the map there coming round the final corner now, but we are about to change our front wing, so we must have got damage from something at some point, possibly that battle with Yuki, or might have even been from Seb at the start of the race when we made some contact with the back of his wheel, but that's nearly a 10-second pit stop, so really not helping us there. That could hamper our chances of getting points, as we're going to come out with Lance Stroll so close to hitting the back of Latifi there, nearly damaging the front wing as soon as we came out of the pits, and Lance Stroll might have a damaged front wing now as well. But these hard tyres, you could see there, we were putting the power down coming out of turn 2, just really not the best tyre at all. Really had trouble with these tyres all race, they just wouldn't rubber in, not a lot of grip on them at all, but at least they match the car's livery. That's a positive, I guess. But we are gonna try and get past Latifi's. There's Jack Aitken in P14 there, flying pretty high, getting 3 positions off the race start, as I think he might have already boxed, but now we have DRS open, quite a lot of ERS, sorry. Can we get up to Latifi? No, we cannot, so we're going to try and leave it until the main straight. But no, we're going to slipstream him right down until the last corner of the track, and we're going to go around the outside. Obviously, our car on paper faster than the Williams, and that is being reflected here as we open DRS. But Latifi with that Mercedes power, such a good engine in a straight line, nearly outpowering us there. As Valtteri Bottas now, P14. So his pit stop crew, his pit stop must have just not been very good, or maybe he had damage as well, just like we did. But now Latifi is going to have another look. We're going to move to the right, try and scare him off a little bit. He's going to try and go keep it up the inside, but we keep it round the outside, and we do keep it in P14. And now, end of lap 17, Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time world champion, is hot on our tail on them fresh medium tyres. I think he's doing a either very aggressive 2-stop or very conservative 1-stop, and our DRS has failed. Could this be a bad omen for the rest of the races? Now Carlos Sainz and Vettel, oh, we send it up the gap between the two drivers, and we were 3 wide there momentarily. We do just about get ahead of Carlos, but we don't have DRS to defend ourselves or to attack Vettel. Instead, we have to make do with the raw Honda power and ERS, and Carlos is going to try and go round the outside on them fresh medium tyres, and it was bound to happen, written in the stars. Ferrari faster than our car, the medium tyres faster than these relatively worn hards at this point, especially the rears, the amount that they've been spinning. But now hopefully we can witness the fight between Vettel and Sainz, or like I would imagine they might just pull away as they are on their medium tyres. But look behind, Kimi Raikkonen, the driver since 2001, on the soft tyres. Chances are he will catch us as well, so we do need to be looking in our mirrors and being careful for him. Now lap 25, this race going pretty stale towards the end. Charles Leclerc in P13, really not a good day at the office for him. Looking to attack Jack Aitken. Hopefully the young Brit can fend him off for a little while, as look in the bottom left, our ERS store pretty much empties. We've been pushing quite hard because we want to overtake Jack Aitken before the end of the race, show him who is boss in this team, as we're going to have DRS. I don't think he will, or yes he will, down into turn 4. Leclerc has passed him, so now just a matter of time until hopefully we can pass him as well. And hopefully that time will be at the end of this lap or on the start of the next one, closing up a lot to him through the last sector here. His car seems to be quite slow, but he moves to the inside. We deploy a little bit of ERS there, kind of do him on the brakes, but he has the inside line. We've gone a little bit wide on the apex here. Goes spinning halfway around then. There's yellow flash. Oh my god, Aitken's engine just blew up right in our face there. So now we just have Leclerc in front of us. Giovinazzi 9 seconds behind. What, that was a very, very scary moment, and really not the way we wanted this car to debut. But there will not be a safety car, as there is only 2 laps of racing left in this race. But there is still a chance that we can gain a position. Well, it's not a chance, it's a guarantee, because up the road on the mini-map in the bottom left you can see there Carlos Sainz, and there's the confirmation on the screen, he has retired. So now all we need to do is bring the car round 2 more times back to the pits in one piece. And that is pretty much what we have done. Got a big space around us now, as Lewis Hamilton has won the opening round of the 2021 Formula 1 World Championship. We're going to come home for P12. Not a bad way to get the car into Formula 1.
That's it for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain, and a real champion's drive to take the win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Nicholas Latifi gets my vote today.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
So, very kind of eventful was at the start, kind of dropped off towards the end, but that puts us P12. Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Perez rounding out the podium, as now 1 point between Mercedes and Red Bull. So I feel like that's going to be a very good championship fight between the two big dogs in F1, really. But that's going to be it for today's episode, guys. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.